Going in depth tonight. For over 4 months now, a Catalina Foothills neighborhood says they've endured threats, intimidation, and overall bad behavior from content creators following the mysterious kidnapping of their 84-year-old neighbor, Nancy Guthrie. The trauma, many say, has been all too much, leaving them living in what they are calling a neighborhood nightmare. News 4 Tucson's Monica Garcia has been following those concerns all along and is asking questions now about what is being done to bring peace back to that neighborhood. Monica.
Well, Sean, the neighbors we have spoken to in Nancy's neighborhood tell me that they have felt helpless. They've felt scared and even targeted by certain streamers who have lingered in her neighborhood. And we do have to say this comes after the Pima County Sheriff's Department charged 3 YouTubers that had been broadcasting out there live for various misdemeanors and a felony, from blocking a public thoroughfare to being a public nuisance to even resisting arrest. The accused are publicly now disputing those charges, saying their First Amendment rights are being violated. Well, tonight we are taking a closer look at their rights, as well as the rights of the people living in that neighborhood. It's the latest chapter in a saga that began after the disappearance of their 84-year-old neighbor, Nancy Guthrie. Neighbors say they've since endured months of disruption.
Yeah, I remember you.
Intimidation and unwanted attention.
She doesn't like anybody stopping here.
Feeling like there's been little recourse to stop it.
I'm not packing anything up. I'm hanging out right here, bro.
Blocking the road.
Early on, the county added no parking zones and no trespassing signs in the area.
The sign is fraudulent, okay?
It's not fraudulent.
There were also discussions about gating the community. Some neighbors even considered seeking protective orders or pursuing civil action against certain streamers they felt were targeting them. But they say those options aren't quick or simple and can take years through the courts before any real protection is in place.
Well, journalists or content creators have a right to be on public sidewalks, to be in public places, and to gather the news.
We sat down with attorney David Bodney, who defends media in First Amendment cases. He says the law is clear, whether you're a traditional journalist or an independent content creator. The Constitution protects the rights to report and record in public places.
It's federal minimum regulations.
But laws of general applicability are applicable to content creators and journalists too, which means that they don't have a right to engage in criminal conduct or in conduct that might give rise to civil liability.
It's kind of overwhelming now with them, continuing to come out on these false reports. I mean, these people are just calling the police for no reason.
In other words, the First Amendment protects the right to record, report, and gather information in public, but it does not override laws that apply to everyone else. That means free speech protections don't shield someone if their conduct violates criminal or civil law, even if it happens while they are filming or reporting.
Is there like a story or just a deadline to how, like, when you're going to complete it, or are you just going to keep going?
I mean, we're here for public awareness.
The Pima County Sheriff says deputies did not start with arrests. He say they first tried to address concerns directly with content creators who remained in the neighborhood after larger media groups left, explaining where they could legally conduct their live streams.
The road, so you need to leave.
I'm sitting.
You're going to get cited.
In this encounter, a deputy speaks with a YouTuber without issuing a citation. The sheriff says the tougher response came only after months of complaints, warnings, and escalating behavior.
We've given you tickets. We've asked you not to do this. You've pushed the envelope. Well, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to now take it to court, and we're going to take it to court by booking you in jail.
Hey, you'd want to with them, but you want to with me. Then why don't you let me sit here? Do you care about Nancy, bro?
And according to the sheriff, the issue wasn't always about whether they were on public or private property. He says it also involved the nature of the live streaming and whether conduct crossed into actions not protected under the Constitution. The First Amendment attorney we spoke with says those rights remain fundamental.
There are criminal laws that prohibit harassment and stalking and trespass. There are civil claims for pretty much the same: harassment and trespass, intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Where free speech ends is where the law takes over. And that means a person can be exercising free speech rights and still face consequences if their actions constitute harassment, trespassing, stalking, assault, threats, or other criminal conduct.
Yuck!
For months, neighbors have described threats, intimidation, and disruptive behavior in their community, including from streamers online. Bodney says when conduct impacts an entire neighborhood, there may be additional legal options.
There's a statute in Arizona that addresses the public nuisance, and it could be that the community, the neighborhood, could call upon law enforcement to explore possible public nuisance violations because the conduct is so widespread that it violates the quiet enjoyment of their property, their comfortable enjoyment of their land.
The sheriff says that's exactly the type of conduct his department is investigating. The department filed misdemeanor and 1 felony charge against 3 YouTubers who were frequently streamed from that area.
But the complaints got to be pretty egregious in that the behavior of those individuals was becoming pretty scary, pretty frightening.
The sheriff says the county attorney's office has been in contact with his department as the case moves forward after both law enforcement and neighbors raised questions.
I have to be concerned for all the citizens.
So as we just heard, and we know, the First Amendment protects speech. Whether the conduct in this case has crossed legal lines, that is a question for the courts to decide. Live in Midtown, I'm Monica Garcia. Sean, back to you.